Today we will learn about the 3 R's and how we can help protect our Earth. The 3 R's are reduce, reuse, and recycle. What will we learn today? We will learn ways to help protect our Earth. We will be able to tell the difference between reducing, reusing, and recycling. And we will learn some new terms or vocabulary. We will learn what it means to reduce, what it means to reuse, what it means to recycle, and what it means to compost. Can you guess how much garbage the average American throws away every day? We throw away about 4 pounds of trash a day. That's heavier than your backpack. In a year, all that garbage adds up to almost 1 ton per person. Where does all the waste go? If you look at this picture, this is a picture of a landfill. And you see this garbage truck is filled with trash and it just dumps it into the pile of trash. And so it just keeps piling up. And then the bulldozer moves it around and flattens it out. Nearly half of all U.S. landfills are full or have been closed because they are unsafe. It's hard to start a new solid waste facility because most people don't want to live near landfills. So the more land we use for landfills, the less land we have for green spaces like parks, for building homes, and for growing crops. Now let's take a closer look at the trash in this landfill. You see all this trash? This trash will sit in the landfill for hundreds or even thousands of years. Do you see anything that could have been recycled instead? If you look, you see soda cans and aluminum cans that could have been recycled. So those things in there could have been recycled instead of being thrown into the landfill. What can you do to help? Remember the 3 R's. The 3 R's are reduce, reuse, and recycle. Let's talk about the first R, reduce. So to reduce means to use less of something, such as making less garbage or using less energy. Turning off the lights when you're not in the room reduces energy. So when you go out of your room, you can cut off the light. What's the better choice? Leaving the computer on or turning the computer off? Well, the better choice when you're not using the computer would be to turn the computer off. Turning off the computer will reduce electricity. When you won't be using it, turn it off. What's the better choice, riding a bike or riding in a car? So riding a bike is the better choice because it cuts down on the amount of cars that are polluting the air. What's the better choice, public transportation or riding in a car? Public transportation, again, is the better choice because it cuts down on the amount of cars polluting the air in the air. Riding a bike or taking public transportation reduces the amount of cars on the road that can pollute the environment or the air. Other ways you can reduce. Don't drink more water than you need. Give the TV a rest. Read a book instead. Turn off the water when you brush your teeth. So don't leave the water running the whole time you're brushing your teeth. The next R is reuse. To reuse means to find ways to use things over and over again instead of throwing them away. How do you think we can reuse this water bottle? So we can replace plastic water bottles with reusable ones that can be refilled at sinks and water fountains. Reusing these containers can save a lot of plastic that might end up in the ocean or the landfill. By reusing, we are saving our landfill space, natural resources, and the materials it would take to make a new product. So they have reused these CDs and made a chair. They have reused these skateboards and made a table. They have reused these water skis and made a chair and a table, and they have reused some baseball bats here to make a chair. What's the better choice? A reusable towel or a disposable paper towel? Reusable towels reduce waste and save trees. It takes one whole tree to make a single roll of paper towels. So a reusable towel that you can wash is reusing something, and it is also reducing waste. What's the better choice? Lunch in a paper bag or using a lunchbox? Well, using a lunchbox is a better choice. You can take it home every day and wipe it out and wash it out and bring it back to school. If you were to put your lunch in a paper bag, that paper bag gets thrown away. A lunchbox lets you reuse it again and again. You need a new paper bag every day and would end up throwing it away. That's a lot of paper you could be saving instead. Other ways you can reuse. Plant a seed to grow a new plant. Use both sides of your paper or write on old paper. Wrap presents with old newspapers instead of buying wrapping paper. The last R is recycle. To recycle means to take something old or used and turn it into something new. So these things can be recycled. If you look in the recycling bin, there's plastic bottles, there's a milk jug, there's cardboard, there's newspapers. So those things can be recycled. You can recycle your beverage containers at many places, such as recycling centers, places with recycling bins at your house, and even at school. What's the better choice? Throwing paper in the trash can or throwing paper in the recycling bin? In the case of paper, recycling saves trees and water. Making a ton of paper from recycled paper saves up to 17 trees and uses 50% less water. What's the better choice? Throwing food in the compost bin or throwing food in the regular trash? Compost is a nutrient-rich part of soil made from the remains of living things. Composting is one way to recycle, and we will learn more about composting when we do our unit on soil. So you can make a separate pile in your house for food to go put outside into a compost pile. What did we learn today? We learned ways to help protect our earth by doing the 3 R's, which are reducing, reusing, and recycling. We also learned the difference between the 3 terms. Reduce means to use less of something, such as making less garbage or using less energy. Reuse means to find ways to use things over and over again instead of throwing them away. And recycling means taking something old or used and turning it into something new. We also learned that compost is a nutrient-rich part of soil made from remains of living things. So you can take your unused food and eggshells and put it in the soil, and it makes the soil rich. So I hope that you have learned a lot today about reducing, reusing, and recycling, and that you will put some of that into effect at your house to help take better care of the environment.